Good morning. This is call number 2009-40625 in the interest of Senya, Christian, and Chance Visor. Please raise your right hand to be sworn, ma'am. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Crystal Davis, and I'm the mother.
All right, and representing the Attorney General, State of Texas.
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Nathaniel Chance Visor. Mr. Visor was personally served on June 3rd, 2022 at 10 a.m. at 8611 Valley Rock Drive in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He's not appeared or filed an answer. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
That's correct, Judge.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. And I'll also offer what's been marked as State's Exhibit A, that's the financial activity report, and I ask that it be admitted.
Ms. Davis, have you had an opportunity to look at that pay record?
Yes,
You have any objections of me admitting that into evidence?
no.
All right, State's Exhibit A is admitted.
Thank you, Judge. I'll call the mother as a witness now.
All right.
Ms. Davis, when the last court order was done, you and the father in this case, Mr. Nathaniel Visor, only had 2 children in 2011, correct?
Yes,
And back then, when that court order was done, y'all used to live together, so child support was 0, and the father was ordered to pay $115 towards Medicaid monthly. Is that also true?
yes,
However, since then, you and the father have a 3rd child, Chance Taylor Visor, and that you both signed an acknowledgement of paternity saying he really is Chance's biological father. Do you recall that?
yes,
Okay, so today we're adding the 3rd child, and you and the father also no longer live together. Is that also true?
right.
Okay, so going forward for Chance, are you agreeing? Are you requesting to be appointed a joint managing conservator together with Mr. Visor for Chance and give the father a standard possession order going forward?
Yes,
Okay, and since the last court order had 0 in monthly child support, today you're requesting that the court grant you retroactive child support, which is only as to Chance in back pay. Is that true?
yes,
And since this case was filed roughly 76 months ago, you're requesting child support just for Chance going back those 76 months. Is that also true?
yes,
Y'all separated, you and the father separated a very long time ago, well before the 76 months. Is that true?
yes,
And in this time frame, unfortunately, we don't have proof of what the father's income was. So this retroactive child support is entirely based on just the increase for Chance based on minimum wage. Would you agree with that?
yes,
And therefore, the retroactive child support just for the 3rd child would be a total of $4,256 as of yesterday's date. Is that correct?
yes,
Although you and Mr. Visor have 3 children, he actually has a child support order and Medicaid order for 1 other child. Is that true?
yes,
Okay. And on this $4,256 in retroactive child support, are you requesting, are you in agreement with the state that the court should order Mr. Visor to pay $71 a month beginning September 1st, 2022?
yes,
Now, the father does have some medical support arrears as reflected on the pay record as of yesterday's date, August 30th, 2022. The father owes $16,853.76. And together with the state, we're requesting the judge order the father to pay $134 beginning September 1st, 2022 towards those medical support arrears. Is that true?
yes,
All right. And although Mr. Visor, we suspect that he's working cash jobs on the table for mechanic work, we actually were able to find a part-time job he's been doing as a mechanic for a company. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, given that we don't have proof of his cash jobs he's doing mechanic work for, combined with the part-time job he is doing, we're requesting that the court grant minimum wage presumptions for child support for you and the 3 kids in the Medicaid going forward. Is that correct?
Yes.
And as we already said, apart from your 3 children, there is actually a child support and medical support order Mr. Beiser has to pay for 1 other child. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
The children are currently on Medicaid, and you're requesting the Medicaid stay in place. Is that correct?
Yes.
And given the guideline support for the 3 children in this case, 1 other child, you agree with the state, the court should order Mr. Beiser to pay $85 a month beginning September 1st, 2022 towards the Medicaid.
Yes.
Is that true? Okay.
Yes.
And therefore that would leave guideline child support a minimum wage at net income at $1,057.78. And the child support percentage applied to Mr. Beiser's net income is 27.38%. Would you agree with that as well?
Yes.
Therefore, guideline child support going forward for your 3 kids will be $290 a month, beginning September 1st, 2022. Would you agree with that as well, Ms. Davis?
Yes.
And there's no issues with this man knowing your address or where you live and your phone number. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. And you believe this default order is in your children's best interest?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to grant this default order against Mr. Beiser. Ma'am, are you asking the court to grant this order today against Mr. Beiser?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, I'll pass the witness at this time.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And thank you, Ms. Davis. You can disconnect now. Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Judge.
Sir. Good morning. This is cause number 2021-75517. In the interest of Nate Keys Harris, please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes,
Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Lakeisha Pride, and I'm the mother.
All right, representing the Attorney General, State of Texas. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kavita
Good morning.
Sharma.
All right, and court will note that Nathaniel Jerome Harris is the non-custodial parent that Mr. Harris personally served on June 6, 2022 at 10:49 a.m. He's not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Ms. Sharma?
Correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Yes, Judge. I would like to call the mother, Miss Lakeisha Pride. Miss
Okay.
Pride, we are here for 1 child. Is that correct?
Yes,
And what is your child's date of birth?
10/12/2007,
And so how old is Nikis?
14.
And who does Nikis live with?
Me, mom.
And have you and Mr. Harris ever lived together?
No, ma'am.
Who is Nikis's father?
Nathaniel Jerome Harris.
And how do you know he's the father?
Because he's the only person. No possibility.
There's no other person that could be the father?
Right. Yes. No other
Okay.
person.
And are you asking the court to name Nathaniel Jerome Harris as the biological father of Nikise?
Yes, ma'am.
And Nikise is 14 years old now, as you said earlier. Has Mr. Harris been a part of Nikise's life since he's been born?
A few times, not too often.
Okay. Are you asking the court to appoint you and Mr. Harris as joint conservators of the child, but allowing you to continue to maintain the child's primary residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking for a standard visitation with pickup and drop off at your residence?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is your child covered under health insurance?
Medicaid.
And at this time, do you know where Mr. Harris is employed?
Yes, but I can't get the information on it.
Okay, so are you understanding that the court is going to set child support and medical support based on minimum wage?
Yes.
And are you aware of any other children that Mr. Harris has?
Yes.
How many is that?
3. 4.
And
No,
okay,
3. 3.
he has 3 children? Okay.
Yes.
And are you telling the court that you agree to maintain the health insurance for the child at this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree to pay half of any uncovered health costs?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to set cash medical support in the amount of $28 and order Mr. Harris to pay that beginning September 1?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to set current child support at $164 to begin on September 1?
Yes, ma'am.
And since the child has been born, has Mr. Harris provided any direct financial support to help with the expenses?
A few times. Yes.
So are you asking for back child support?
Yes.
And are you asking for back child support for the last 12 months, beginning August 1 of 2021 until today?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking that the court order Mr. Harris pay back child support in the amount of $2,132
Yes, ma'am.
at $61 a month, beginning September 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And do you want court costs to be billed to Mr. Harris?
Yes.
And have you reviewed this order and signed it?
Yes.
And is it in the best interest of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. I pass this witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good